From Bellingham, Washington, this is a KRUA Sports presentation of UAA Women's Volleyball on the road. Seawolves take on
Western Washington.
I'm Robert Stormo, and this is Neil Torchiano. Oh, you got it? You got it. Okay. So, Seawolves coming into tonight, 0-5 in the conference, putting them in last place. Vikings, on the other hand, 4-1 in the conference, third place, like Neil just said. Starting lineups on the floor right now. Seawolves being introduced, wearing their green uniforms, and the Vikings, on the other hand, wearing their gray tops and purple bottoms.
Right.
Coming into tonight's game, UAA coming off last weekend's road trip for the Seawolves. They're the first of the 2006 Great Northwest Athletic Conference campaign. Seawolves fell to St. Martin in 3 games, and then a pretty good effort against Western Oregon. They lost 1 game to 3, but now that puts us to currently where we are. On the floor for the Seawolves, looks like Jones, Cooper, Connect, Kahalahau, Morehouse, and Stolk. And then for the Western Washington Vikings, on the floor right now, Watanabe, then Bennett, Rice.
Now the starters for the Vikings.
On the floor.
6-foot junior from SeaTac, Washington.
Starters are being introduced to the floor right now.
So correction to the starters, Anderson, first starter for the Vikings.
6-foot sophomore from Laurel, Washington, number 6, Angie.
Then Angie Albert, then Marissa Hall, Shasta Bennett, Schneider. We've got Rice, Roma, and Robinson and Castro. So as the Seawolves get into tonight, talking to Coach Rose and Coach Earl before the game, they were saying that it is a matter of their team playing a full volleyball match from the start to the end.
And the Seawolves really need a win tonight to boost the morale. They've sort of been in the gutter, but we'll see how they go against Western Washington.
It's a matter, in Coach Earl's mind, of just playing smart and getting out on the other team from the beginning. And then from there, hopefully things should fall into place. But we've seen so far in 5 games that great start does not always result in a great finish for the team.
And Western Washington is a very tough team here. They're coming off a 3-game sweep right now. So we'll see how the Seawolves face against the Vikings.
Both teams shaking hands now, and we are about to get underway. Seawolves circling up, trying to get themselves motivated, trying to pick up their first win in the conference, and Vikings, on the other hand, trying to keep their win streak alive. Vikings, pretty dominant team at home. 58-4 at home since 2000. They will look to continue that streak. Seawolves, like I just said, look to get a win. Teams breaking, and the game is about to get underway. UAA will start with the ball.
And also Western holds a 17-7 advantage against UAA, winning the last 11.
And even last year beat the Seawolves 3 straight. So now back to serve for UAA, Tehani Kahalahau with the ball. Coach Earl talking to Rachel Connect before the game starting, and Seawolves trying to get something figured out. Connect actually replaces Chelsea Jones. So Kahalahau back to serve for the Seawolves. Sends that one over, dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson over to Anderson, off the hands of Lyons and off the chest of Connect and out of play. So Vikings get things going early, 1-0 for Western Washington. Back to serve is Schneider for the Vikings. Dug up by Cooper. The Seawolves run down by Morehouse. Sent over by Connect. Now it's Schneider. Robinson dumps it over to Albert. Albert finds some space off the hands of Cooper. So that's 2 straight, Neil.
He was looking a little early for the start.
Schneider back to serve again. Dug up by Cooper now. The Seawolves run down by Kahala Howe. Morehouse puts it over off the hands of Albert. It's Robinson to Anderson. Big block in the net by Chelsea Jones. Excuse me. Jones checked out. My fault. Kim Stolk on the block.
Stolk and Morehouse up front, along with Brenda Cooper.
Heather Lyons now back to serve for UAA. Dug up by Bennett. Run down by Robinson. It's Anderson now. She sends that one long. Nice decision on Heather Lyons' part to let that one sail out of play. So, it's knotted up now. 2-2. Lyons back to serve for the Seawolves. Dug up by Schneider. Run down by Robinson. Albert sends it over. Lyons, Kahala Howe sends it over herself. Dug up by Schneider. It's Albert. Put over by Bennett. Free ball, Seawolves. Kahala Howe. Morehouse sets cross court to Cooper. But Morehouse gets called for. Double hit. 3-2. Vikings on top. Back to serve Robinson. Dug up by Lyons of the Seawolves. Kahala Howe now. To Cooper. Block at the net by Hill, but out of play. Seawolves get the point. 3-3. Rachel Connect checks in and will serve. Sends the ball over. Dug up by Anderson. Robinson to Hill. Kahala Howe gets her hands on it. Jones. Cooper sends it over. Dug up by Bennett. Run down by Anderson. Sent back over by Bennett. Lyons. Kahala Howe to Jones. Jones mishits that one and sends it out of play. So
just a bit long there.
4-3 Seawolves. Castro checks in for the Vikings, replacing Bennett. Anderson back to serve. Kahala Howe to Morehouse. But Kahala Howe gets called for it. Double hit. So that's 5-3 now. Vikings on top. Anderson with the serve in hand. Sends it over. Dug up by Connect. Run down by Kahala Howe. She gets it to Lyons from the back row. Sends it over. Dug up by Castro. It's Robinson to Hill. Dug up by Kahala Howe. Morehouse with the set to Cooper. Dug up. Anderson. Run down Robinson. Sent back over. Kahala Howe to Morehouse. Morehouse finds some space right in front of a diving Hill.
Seawolves able to fend off the Vikings very well there.
So Kristen Negron checks in for UAA now. And will serve. Sends it over. Dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson. Cross court to Castro. Sends that one wide, but deflected off the hands of Brenda Cooper. So 6-4 now. Western on top. Back to serve. Angie Albert. Sent back over by Lyons. Robinson to Roma. Dug up by Negron. Nicely done from Negron. Kahala Howe to Lyons. Off the hands of Roma and out of play. Point Seawolves. 6-5 now. UAA trailing.
Solid hit there.
Cooper back to serve now for the green and gold. Sends it over. Dug up Schneider. Robinson to Roma off the hands of Jones. Connect to Kahala Howe. She takes it over herself with the left hand. Good thinking out there from Kahala Howe.
She loves doing that sweeper move.
Saw that Western was out of play. Took advantage of the open space and made them pay. 6-6 now the score. Cooper with the serve. Dug up by Schneider. Sent back over. Negron. Kahala Howe to Lyons. Goes cross court. Dug up. Now it's Robinson to Hill. Sent back over by Connect. Schneider. Robinson. Cross court to Castro. Off the hands of Kahala Howe. Connect. Kahala Howe. Cooper. Jones. Jones just taps it over and gets it right past the hands of Castro for the point for the Seawolves and their first lead of the match.
Sometimes nice and easy is better than trying to bang the ball in.
Cooper back to serve again. Dug up by Anderson. It's Robinson. Cross court to Castro. Castro finishes that one and does not give the Seawolves a chance to make a play on it. Nicely done from the Vikings on that one.
Castro got really elevated on that play there.
Dug up by Negron. It's Jones dug up by Schneider. Then Hill sends that one over, but long. Negron thought about running it down, but decided to let that one go.
Stolk checks back in for the Seawolves.
Seawolves on top now, 7-8, and Chelsea Jones back to serve. Sent over, dug up by Schneider. Castro now gets her hands on it and finds some space in the back row. 8-8. Western ties the thing back up. Now Bennett checks in to serve. She replaces Castro. Bennett sends it over, dug up by Negron. Kalahana for the Seawolves to Lyons. Lyons puts it down, tipped off the hands of Robinson. Points for the Seawolves, 8-9. They're on top. Morehouse checks in for Negron. It's Kahalahau now, back to serve. Sends that one into the net, so the Seawolves with their first serving error of the night they give the ball right back to the Vikings. Schneider back to serve now. It's Cooper, Kalahau to Lyons. Lyons nicely dug up by Bennett, however. Now Robinson, sent over by Hill. Hill sends that one just wide. Good attempt for the back row, however, from Hill and the Vikings. Seawolves, though, on top. 10-9 now, and Lyons back to serve. Sends it over, dug up by Bennett. Run down by Robinson. It's Anderson now, dug up by Lyons. Sent over by Kahalahau. After that long dig by Lyons, but she sends it wide. 10-10.
Anderson seems to be loving the right side there.
It's Robinson. She sends that one into the net for the Vikings, so the Seawolves get the point.
Chelsea Jones checks back into the game for Anchorage.
Correction to the score, 11-11 now.
Tied up once again.
Rachel Connect checks in, sends it over, dug up by Anderson, run down by Robinson to Albert. Connect gets her hands on it. Kalahau to Lyons from the back row. Bennett gets her hands on it. Robinson runs it down, and Albert sends it over and gets the kill for the Vikings off the hand.
Vikings with a great hustle there, almost nearly running into the crowd.
However, Albert did run into the net on that nice kill attempt, so the Seawolves get the point. So my error on the score was actually Western's error. I should have went with my instinct. Scores 10-12. Seawolves on top. Connect with the serve. It's Robinson to Hill. Dug up by Lyons. Kalahau cross court to Cooper. Cooper blocked at the net by Hill. Seawolves recover. Morehouse sends it over. Big block back to her. Then Anderson sends it over herself. Sees a huge gap on the left side of the Seawolves front net and just taps it over.
Tricky play there. They had to do a lot of net action going on.
Back now is Anderson to serve for the Vikings. Dug up by Connect to the Seawolves. Kalahau runs it down. Lyons from the back row. Dug up by Anderson. It's Robinson now. Sets it up for Castro. Connect. Kalahau cross court. Cooper sends it down but dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson to Castro. Lyons gets a one hand on it. Connect. Cooper sends it over. Free ball Vikings. It's Castro. Robinson to Hill. Big block of the net by Jones. Sent back to the Vikings. Hill tries again. Sent over by Albert. Connect now. Kalahau to Morehouse. Dug up Anderson. Robinson dumps it off to Hill. Dug up by Connect to the Seawolves. Very long rally right here. Kalahau to Cooper. Big block of the net by Hill, though, to end that Seawolf Viking rally. 12-12 now after that block from Hill.
Great rally from both sides, trying to figure it out.
Back to serve is Anderson still for the Vikings. Dug up by Heather Lyons. Kalahau to Jones. Jones mistimed her steps, then went up for the ball and came down before the ball was even ready for her to hit it. Back to serve again is Anderson, her team on top now. 13-12 over the Seawolves. Kalahau to Cooper. Blocked at the net by Hill, but Hill this time can't keep it in play as it goes out of bounds. 13-13.
The Vikings having a bit of problem there on the right side, blocking that area there.
Negron sends it over. She's dug up by Castro. Run down by Robinson. Huge cross-court pass back to Castro. And Castro goes cross-court with it. Tries to take advantage of the space Heather Lyons gives her and finds some space.
The Vikings now 1 point ahead.
It's 14-13, and it's Albert back to serve. Albert with the huge jump serve, but just sends that one long. So now 14-14. Seawolves with ball in hand. And the serve. It's Cooper with the serve, dug up by Anderson. It's Robinson to Castro. Castro goes up high for that.
That was a power hit there.
Point Vikings. It's Hill back to serve now. Sends that one over, dug up by Cooper. The Seawolves, it's Kahala Howe to Jones. Net violation, however, by Romash. She went up for that block, so the Seawolves get a point back. Score is now 15.
Vikings in the net.
15.
Point for the Seawolves.
Jones back to serve. Coach Earl telling our girls to get in position. Schneider digs it up. It's Robinson. Cross court to Castro. Castro goes a big dig by Negron. Jones sends it over, dug up by Schneider. Robinson to Castro again. Castro bringing the heat tonight for the Vikings. Puts another one down the left side of the floor. 16-15. Wonder if Negron's forearms are throbbing after that huge
would be.
Put away from Castro.
A lot of backcourt action for UAA.
Bennett with the serve. Kahala with the set to Lyons. She just taps it over, but just wide. Very good idea from Lyons. Just couldn't get it to play out the way she wanted it to. So 17-15 now. And it's Bennett back to serve for the Vikings, who are on top. Connect to Cooper. Sent over by Kahala House. Schneider. Robinson to Roma. Very quick setup offensively from the Vikings. Robinson quickly got it to Roma. Roma, no hesitation on her part, just to send it down as the Seawolves were shifting back into defense. 18-15 now. Vikings on top until Bennett sends it into the net. So the Seawolves get a break and a point. They trail 18-16 in game number 1. It's Kahala Howe back to serve for UAA. Dug up by Schneider. Roma runs it down. Anderson sends it over. Free ball Seawolves. Cooper. Kahala Howe with the set. Quickly to Stoltz. Stoltz goes up and gets her hand completely over it and smashes it down to the court. Point Seawolves.
Timeout taken.
18-17. Seawolves back into it. All right, had a chance to talk to Western assistant coach James Stu before the game, and was just saying, I asked him what he thinks needs to be done tonight to get another victory in this conference, and he was saying that they need to play Western Washington Volleyball. And then I asked him, well, what is that? And then he was just like, it's smart, play offensively and defensively, and reducing errors as much as possible.
Lyons, we're going to read some of the stats. Lyons getting 2 kills there. Jones as well, along with Brenda Cooper. So 9 kills in total from the Seawolves.
9 kills on 3 errors and 27 attempts. Seawolves hitting very well right now at 222. Characteristically, this season, Seawolves have not hit better than 199.
And the Seawolves have been doing a pretty darn good job today holding off the Vikings.
Both teams back on the floor. Kahala Howe with the ball in her hand. She sends it over, dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson, goes cross court to Anderson. Cooper was shifting over, thinking Anderson was going to her near side, but Anderson saw that in air and took it over to Cooper's side while she was moving. Cooper can't get back into position, so it's a point for the Vikings. 19-17, Western up by 2. Schneider with the serve, very short. Kahala Howe to Morehouse. Double hit by Kahala Howe. So
we've had a number of those already.
Both sides. Point over to the Vikings. They're on top now, 20-17, and it's Schneider once again with the serve. Dug up by Cooper. Sent back over by Cooper. Robinson sees that and then takes it down off the hands of Stoltz It gets the point for the Vikings. Seawolves' first serve receive error of the night, and Vikings able to take advantage of it. Schneider again with the serve dug up by Cooper. Then Kahalik Howe slips on the floor after she's trying to run down that Cooper setup, or excuse me, dig. 22-17 now.
The
Vikings
UAA
on
women's
top.
team did say it was slippery, or the court is slippery for them.
Kahalik Howe to Morehouse, blocked at the net by the Vikings. Seawolves send it over. It's Schneider now. It's Robinson. She takes it over herself. Set the Seawolves up for the cross-court set. Everybody was frozen on the UAA side. She takes it over with the left hand, finds the Seawolves defense with a huge gap right in the middle. So timeout on the floor taken by UAA head coach
from the Vikings,
Michelle Earl. Seawolves got to think they've got to be pleased with the way they've come out. Hit percentage-wise, very good. Not many errors on their side. 17 total digs for the Seawolves. Bridger Connect obviously playing libero with the bulk of those at 7. Had the Lions 6 digs herself. Seawolves 17 total. And then blocking from Stolk and Morehouse. So the Seawolves 2 blocks.
The Western Washington Vikings coming out strong from the last timeout. They now find themselves 23-17 against the Seawolves.
But this early on 222 hitting percentage for the Seawolves. In game ones of their last 5 games, the Seawolves have not been able to hit over the 100% mark. Seem to be struggling in game one, but game one now of this Western Washington game seems to be a different story. So we'll see how it plays out as both teams hit the floor. Schneider back to serve for the Vikings, dug up by Connect. Kahalik Howe now. Cross court to Morehouse. Big block at the net by Anderson, completely stuffing Morehouse. So nice point for the Vikings. They're on top, 24-17.
Vikings saw that hit totally coming to them.
Schneider now back to serve. The libero sends it over. Connect digs it up for the Seawolves. It's Kahalik Howe to Lyons, sends it over. Schneider again gets her hands on it. Robinson now dishes to Albert. Albert puts it down. Connect gets her hands on it, then hits it off the head of Kahalik Howe, and then it hits the floor. So another point for the Vikings. 25-17 now. Seawolves down 8 and need a stop bad. Sent over by Schneider. Lyons now. Kahalik Howe to Morehouse. Morehouse sends that one into the net. Another point for the Vikings. Seawolves have given up 6 straight points now. 8 straight points. Schneider with the ball again for Western Washington. Sent over. Dug up by Lyons. Kahalik Howe. Back to Lyons. Schneider now. Robinson. Albert. Lift call, though, on Katie Robinson of the Vikings. So Seawolves do end their drought and that Viking run. 26-18 now. Seawolves looking to get something done. Ball in hand for Heather Lyons. Sends it over and sends that very long. 27-18 now. Only the Seawolves' second service error of game number 1. It's Robinson now. Serves it over. Looked like a knuckleball coming over the net and actually found some space. Looked like Connect thought about letting it go long. She did let it go, but it actually stayed on the floor. So now 28-18. Robinson again with the serve. This time she sends it into the net. So 28-19 now.
Seawolves catching a couple lucky breaks here on their last 2 points on the Vikings errors.
Reg Connect back to serve for UAA. Sends it over, dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson to Hill. Hill goes up high for that one. Puts it down. 29-19 now. Castro checks in for Bennett, and Vikings are on game point. Student section on their feet. Lyons digs it up. Kahalik Howe to Cooper. Cooper puts it over. Robinson gets her hands on it. Run down by Schneider then, but then Schneider sends it out of play. So the Seawolves down 9. 29-20. And Crystal Negron checks in for Jessica Morehouse. Negron with the serve. Sends it over. Castro gets her hands on it. It's Anderson. Back to Castro. Send over. Lyons digs it up. Kyla Howe to Jones. Blocked at the net by Castro. Sent back over by Negron. Negron sends it out of play. So game one goes to Western Washington, 30-20. Neil, what stuck out in your mind mostly in game one?
The Sea was not quite able to, find the rhythm back after a couple timeouts. Just quickly giving up some points. The Vikings able to set up a couple of their big hitters really well. And just small little errors on both teams' parts, giving away a couple of easy points.
Early on, Castro, 6 of 10 6 kills on 10 attempts, hitting .600 for the team, was able to get some big points on the Seawolves, some more memorable blasts that she put down.
One factor could be that the court is a bit slippery. Earlier today, I heard the Seawolves girls saying that the court, they've never, it's really, really slippery compared to what they're used to.
So game one, Seawolves putting down 10 total kills, 6 errors on 34 attempts, hit 118. And first time in game one this season, Seawolves get over that 100 plateau. So 10 kills, 6 errors. And then on the Western side, 16 total kills on 5 errors and 41 total attempts. Gives them a 268 over the Seawolves. 2 errors on the Seawolves side. When it comes to the serves, those errors were Lyons and Tehani Kahalahau. 4 serving errors on the Vikings part, something Coach Son and Coach Flick, definitely probably talking about right now.
The Seawolves were able to do a really good job of matching the Vikings before several timeouts, but after the timeouts, it looked like the Vikings were able to catch a breather, recompose themselves, and then go in for the win.
Seawolves setting up 10 total assists on 10 kills, 14 assists on 16 kills for the Vikings. Big hitters for the Seawolves. Brenda Cooper with 3 kills on 9 attempts. Heather Lyons, 2 kills on 10 attempts and 1 error. Jones, 2 kills, 2 errors, 5 attempts. And Morehouse also in the books, 1 kill, 2 errors on 7 attempts.
And for the Vikings, it looks like Anderson found 4 kills. Probably a lot of them going to the right side of the UA's
defense.
Anderson able to pound through that area.
Both teams coming back to the floor now. Seawolves look to regroup and gather themselves in game number 2. Started off and played well entire throughout game number 1.
Castro also had 6 kills in there as well for the Vikings.
Seawolves getting set on the floor. Kalahau, Stolk, Lyons, Jones, Negron, Koizumi, and Libero. Rachel Connect actually checking in, and Jones sitting out. Bennett, Schneider, Rice, Robinson, Roma, and Anderson for the Vikings on the floor. Sent back over by Connect. It's Robinson now for Roma. Koizumi gets her hands on it, but sends it out of play. So, point for the Western Washington Vikings.
Not quite able to set up the Seawolves to retaliate.
Spin it back to serve now. Her team with the early 1-0 lead. Sent over by Bennett, dug up by Negron. It's Kahalahau who takes it herself, puts it down off the hands of Rice, dug up by Schneider. Sent back over. It's Kahalahau to Lyons. Big block at the net by Robinson. But 4 hits on the Seawolves. Didn't really see the 4 hits over there, but referee Can't really argue that. Bennett now back to serve. Dug up by Connect. Kalahau to Lyons. Lyons just taps it over, finds some space in the Washington defense. So 2-1 now. Seawolves right in the game. Back to serve now. Tehani Kalahau for UAA. Sent over. Dug up by Bennett. It's Robinson to Anderson. Big block at the net by Stolk, and the Seawolves have now tied the game up of that Kim Stolk block. So Stolk and Morehouse actually get credit for that block. So Seawolves net game, defensive net game, trying to pick up where it left off in the first game. Kalahau sends it over. It's Robinson. Put over by Anderson. Dug up Kalahau. Morehouse to Lyons. Sent over. Dug up by Bennett. It's Robinson to Anderson off the hands of Morehouse. Dug up Kalahau. Sent over by Morehouse. It's Schneider. Schneider and Bennett actually had eye contact before they hit the ball, and then Schneider backed up and then hit it and sent it straight to the floor. So miscommunication on the Vikings' part gives the Seawolves their first lead of game number 2. Kalahau sends it over. Dug up Anderson. It's Robinson now cross court to Roma. Dug up connected the Seawolves. Kalahau to Morehouse off the hands of Roma. It's Robinson. Cross court. Anderson. Big put down off the elbow of Stolk.
Seawolves not quite able to defend that shot from Anderson.
Schneider back to serve now for Western. Dug up by Negron. Kalahau back over. Lyons went up and just seemed like she went to underhand it, and Albert takes advantage of it and stuffs it back on the Seawolf side. So 4-3, Western back on top. Schneider back to serve. Dug up by Connect. Kalahau to Lyons with the left hand. Dug up by Rice. Then Robinson tried to take it over, but Lyons blocked her. Robinson then sets it over. It's Morehouse now. Cross court to Lyons. Dug up by Schneider. Nicely done from the Western Washington side. Bennett sends it over. Stolk gets a hand on it. Robinson takes it. Kalahau. Connect to Lyons. Dug up by Bennett. Robinson now cross court to Anderson off the top of the net. Lyons sends it back over. Then puts it down, Albert then puts it down off the hands of Tehani Kalahau. So 5-3. Good hustle, though, from the Seawolves to get the ball over to counter the Western attack. Schneider sends it over. Negron. Kalahau to Lyons. Hit that one completely. Tried to just tap it over the block of the Vikings, but sends that one into the net. So 6-3.
A little too far away. She was a little closer to the net. She would have been able to nicely touch it in.
Schneider with the serve again. Negron. Kalahau to Lyons. Dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson now to Anderson. Big dig by Negron. Nicely done. Lyons sends it over after receiving it from Kalahau. It's Schneider now to Anderson. Dug up by Lyons. Kalahau to Morehouse. Morehouse finds some space off the hands of Albert as she was going up for the block.
Both teams able to switch it up and defend well against each other. So with the Seawolves finding the room like Stormo said.
Lyons sends it over. Dug up by Bennett. It's Robinson now to Albert. Dug up by Tehani Kalahau. Morehouse to Lyons from the back row off the hands of Albert. It's Robinson now. Lyons digs it up. Kalahau to Cooper. Nice dive by Bennett. Sent back over by Schneider. Connect now. Kalahau to Morehouse. Dug up by Schneider. Robinson now. Free ball. Gets it over to Albert. Albert puts it down off the hand of Heather Lyons, and then she sends it out of play. 7-4 now. Hill checking in for Rice for the Vikings, and Robinson back to serve. Sent over, dug up by Lyons of the Seawolves. Kalahau now quickly to Stolk. Stolk just mishits this one, but officials giving her the deflection. So 7-5 now. Seawolves with the ball and the point. Vikings still trying to figure out who tipped that ball. Referee pointing to who. Connect with the serve, dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson now for the Vikings. Cross court to Hill. Hill gets up there, puts it down, dug up by Lyons, however. Kalahau to Cooper, dug up by Bennett. Snyder was going to run it down, but Bennett's roll.
A little miscommunication.
On the roll, Bennett gets in, Snyder gets in Bennett's way. Point Seawolves, 7-6 now. Anderson went up to kill that one, blocked at the net by Jones and Cooper. Morehouse sends it over. It's Robinson now. Hill now. Sends that one long and wide. 7-7 now. Seawolves have now tied the game up.
He was able to find that way past the net action there.
3 straight points coming from the Seawolves. Connect with the serve again. Robinson goes up high to Hill. Dumped over. Scooped up by Kalahau. Morehouse now cross court to Cooper. Cooper pounds that one down off the hands and maybe a little bit of the face of Katie Robinson.
Vikings not quite able to get under the ball.
Seawolves now regain the lead. Only their second of game number 2. They're on top 8-7. Connect, serves it over. Robinson sends it back over. Robinson again. It's Albert to Hill. She just taps it over and finds the Seawolves out of position. Lyons finds herself a little too far in the backcourt. Not able to run that one down. 8-8. Western have now tied the game. Anderson in to serve, sends it over, dug up by Connect. It's Kalahau now to Jones. She just sends it over. Free ball Vikings. It's Robinson to Hill, dug up by Connect, and looks like we have a net violation on the Seawolves.
Just giving that one up to the Vikings.
Easy point. 9-8. Anderson back to serve. Lyons. Kalahau to Jones. A net violation then on the Vikings side. So Seawolves get it back. Score now 9-9. Koizumi checks in to serve for the Seawolves. Sends it over. Just wide. Looked like she might have kissed the line, but referee not seeing it that way. 10-9 now. Vikings regain the lead, and it's Albert back to serve. Dug up by Heather Lyons. Kalahau now to Cooper, cross court. Cooper sends it down off the hands of Albert. Albert maybe not quick enough. And Cooper takes advantage of it and puts it down in the spot where she should have been.
Tied up once again, 10-10.
Negron back to serve for UAA. Dug up by Anderson. It's Robinson. Cross court to Castro. Off the hands of a diving Rachel Connect to the Seawolves. Jones to Lyons. Scooped up by Schneider. It's Robinson. She dishes over to Castro. Dug up by Koizumi. Kalahau cross court to Lyons. Lyons puts it down off the hands of Schneider and out of play.
Big hit. The Vikings not able to set that one up.
11-10 now. UAA on top. Negron with the serve, dug up by Anderson. Robinson quickly to Hill, dug up by Connect. Nicely done again. That's 2 for her. Lyons gets the ball from Kalahau and puts it down. 10-12. Seawolves on top. I was referring to 2 diving digs from Connect to set up the Seawolves for 2 straight points. Timeout taken on the floor by Western Washington coach Diane Flick.
Connect showing a really great struggle, or hustle actually, in the backcourt. Diving for several of those.
Definitely benefiting the Seawolves is the hustle play right now. Seawolves starting game number 2 just as strong as they did in game number 1.
Line able to nail it down.
Seawolves coming back onto the floor now. Coach Earl probably pleased with the way her team has come out in game number 2, minimizing the errors on the serving side and on the defensive side. Seawolves get the ball in hand. Crystal Negron back to serve. And we're just waiting for the Vikings to get on the floor. On the floor for the Vikings, it's Roma, Hill, Castro, Robinson, Anderson, and Schneider. Seawolves, Jones, Kalahau, Lyons, Koizumi, Connect, and Negron. Connect, she gets dug up by Anderson. Roma sends it over. Seawolves out of place. 4 Seawolves around the ball, but none able to get to the ball in time. Nicely done from Roma to pick up on that.
A nice little tap, finding away in the middle there of the Seawolves.
It's Hill back to serve now for the Vikings. Vikings trail 11-12. Negron digs it up. Kyla Howe cross court to Lyons, dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson who runs it down. Hill puts it over. And the short tap again finds the Seawolves out of position. That's two. Lyons has had to come from the back row just to try to get her hands on it, but not able to do so.
That middle spot proving problems for the Seawolves.
Hill with the serve, dug up by Negron. Kyla Howe then tries to get it to Jones. Jones mistimes her jump and doesn't get her hands on the ball. 13-12. 3 straight for the Vikings now. Hill dug up by Jones, and then Kyla Howe tries to send it over, but keeps it on her side of the net. So another point now for the Vikings. Hill back to serve again. Dug up by Connected to Seawolves this time. Run down by Kyla Howe to Lyons. Big block of the net by Roma. Then Anderson tried to send it over. Castro tried to send it over, but then she sends it wide. So 14-13 now.
Seawolves finally back on the board from the timeout.
Chelsea Jones back to serve now for UAA. Sends it over. Dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson cross court to Castro. Castro just pops it over. Dug up by the Seawolves. Kyla Howe to Stolk. Dug up by Castro. Robinson then to Hill from the back row. Dug up by Negron. Kyla Howe then tried to take it over herself on the second pass and then sends that one into the net.
Needed a little more height there for that sweeper move.
Bennett checks into the game for the Vikings. Just waiting for a ball to be thrown to her so the game could get back into play. Bennett sends it over. Dug up by Negron. It's Kyla Howe now to Stolk. She goes up high for that one. Run down by Anderson, then Robinson, then Roma. Just sends that one straight into the net.
Double contact called on the Vikings.
She's mad at herself for doing that. 15-14 now. Morehouse checks in for Megan Koizumi of the Seawolves, and it's Kyla Howe back to serve. Dug up by Schneider. It's Bennett now to Hill from the back row. Dug up by Negron. Kyla Howe now runs that one down to Lyons. Off the hands of Robinson and Roma, then to the floor. Point Seawolves.
Vikings not quite able to set up the wall there.
15-15 now. Seawolves back to serve. Kyla Howe. Dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson cross court to Anderson. Anderson with a huge windup and then just crushes that ball. Seawolves not able to get a hand on that one. 16-15. The Vikings back on top. It's Schneider back to serve for Western Washington. Dug up by Negron now. It's Kyla Howe to Lyons off the top of the net. And Schneider not able to handle it. So point Seawolves. 16-16 now. Still a very close game. No team really showing the will yet to take the lead from one another. Lyons with the serve, dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson to Albert, dug up by Kyla Howe and sent into the stands. But dug up the wrong way. 17-16 now. It's Robinson back to serve for Western. Dug up by Lyons now. It's Kyla Howe to Cooper with the left hand. No connect, has to try again. Cooper tries again now. Dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson to Bennett. Bennett pancaked up by Heather Lyons. Then a double hit called on Rachel Connect. Very good hustle, though, from Heather Lyons to come from the back corner just to get her hand under the ball.
Seems to be that middle spot. Almost like a black hole there.
It's 19-16 now after that Katie Robinson ace. Connect tried to get her hand on it, and she did, and then sent it out of play. It's Robinson once again. Dug up by Lyons now. Lyons sends that one long. Kyla Howe able to run it down, though. But fortunately for the Seawolves, a net violation on Albert. 19-17 now. Seawolves looking to get back into it. It's Rachel Connect back to serve. She's dug up by Anderson. Run down by Robinson. Sent over by Schneider. Seawolves free ball. Lyons. Kyla Howe. Morehouse. Sends that one down. Off the forehead, it looked like, of Alvord. So Seawolves will take the points however they can get them, be it face, fingers, elbows. 19-18, Seawolves still down. Connect, dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson. Cross court to Hill. Hill has got some hops coming out of her legs and puts that one down off the hands of Jessica Morehouse. So 22-18. Anderson dug up by Lyons of the Seawolves. Kyla Howe to Morehouse. Morehouse dug up by Anderson. Robinson called for the double hit. 20-19 now. Seawolves back to serve. Megan Koizumi checks into the game for the green and the gold. Sends it over, dug up by Castro, run down by Robinson to Alvord. Koizumi gets her hands on it, and neither Kyla Howe or Connect able to run it down.
Nearly running into the crowd there, the Seawolves.
Coming into the game for the Vikings, Alvord checking out, and Watanabe checking in. So 21-19. Seawolves still trailing too. Watanabe with the serve. Dug up by Connect to the Seawolves. Kyla Howe runs it down to Jones. Jones puts it down off the hands of Robinson. She can't handle it. Sends that one out of play. 20-21 now. Seawolves 1 point away from tying this game up. Negron back to serve. Dug up by Castro. Robinson not able to run it down. She was kind of screened by Roma. Roma not really looking for the ball. Miscommunication from the Vikings has given the Seawolves the point, and they have tied it up at 21-21. Negron dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson to Hill. Hill skies forward, but big block at the net by Chelsea Jones. So Seawolves take the lead back, 21-22. Negron with the serve. She gets dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson now. They go to Castro this time on the left side. Castro, not a whole lot of trouble on her left side, finishing the ball. Puts it into a spot where the Seawolves are vacant from 22-22. And it's Hill back to serve. Dug up by Negron. Kyla Howe takes it herself. But lifting is the call, so 23-22. It's Hill back to serve. Her team just regaining the lead. Dug up by Negron. It's Kyla Howe quickly to Lyons. Dug up by Hill. Step back over. Jones to Kyla Howe. The Jones dig sent on the western side of the net, and Castro able to just tap it back over.
Jones not quite able to move quick enough.
Out of position, 24-22 now. Vikings back up on top. It's Hill. Dug up by Connect. Kyla Howe. Cross court to Lyons. Big block in the net from Roma and Robinson. Sent back over by Kyla Howe. It's Roma now. Robinson quickly back to Roma off the hands of Jones. Connect gets her hands on it, but Koizumi not able to run that one down before it gets into the bleachers. 25-22. Timeout on the floor from the Seawolves. It's been said before, Seawolves have had problems playing a consistent game from the coaches, saying that's their biggest flaw right now, not being able to finish the game either the way they started or the way they finished. It's a matter of just piecing all the players together and getting them to play that one cohesive game. Seawolves right now, though, playing pretty solid volleyball, only down 3 points after being up by 2 points before a Viking run. Vikings were trailing 10-12, called the timeout, and then from there ran off 3 straight points to regain the lead. Maybe the Seawolves able to get momentum back after this timeout.
Here and there, a couple simple errors from the Vikings. Not quite able to defend against the Seawolves. But the Seawolves not quite finding the rhythm together and definitely not finding that consistent game that they really do need to hold steady.
It's Hill back to serve. Dug up by Lyons. Kalahau now to Jones. Jones puts it down off the hands of Roma. So the Seawolves get that point coming out of the timeout. They're down now 25-23. It's Jones' 5th kill of the game. Jones' serve dug up by Schneider. Robinson to Hill, dug up by Lyons. Kalahau to Stoltz. Big block in the net by Roma and Castro. Lyons blocked at the net by Robinson. Kalahau now back to Lyons. Blocked again by Roma. Sent back over
the Vikings just setting up a wall there at the net. Able to block everything the Seawolves put up there.
Kalahau tried to get it back over the net, but was called for the double hit. So 26-23 now. It's the Vikings within 4 points of taking game number 2. It's Negron. Kalahau, she takes it herself. A very, very quick, deceptive move from Tehani Kalahau to take that one over.
The Vikings didn't see that one coming.
26-24. Seawolves with the serve. It's Kalahau back to serve. Dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson. Goes cross court to Anderson. She just taps it over. Kalahau gets under it. It's Morehouse. 2 lines. Morehouse called with the double hit. 27-24. It's Schneider back to serve now. Sends it over. Dug up by Negron. Kalahau runs it down. Lyons just has to send it over. Free ball Vikings. It's Schneider. It's Robinson. She takes it over. Takes it over. Dug up by Negron, but then referee saying it hit the floor before she was able to get her hand under it. 28-24 now, only 2 points away. Seawolves need to stop the Vikings right here. Schneider sent over, dug up by Negron. Kalahau to Morehouse. She sends that one into the net. 4 hits on the Seawolves after Kalahau just touches it. 29-24. Vikings looking to take game number 2.
Again.
Schneider, she's dug up by Negron. Kalahau, cross court to Lyons, off the hands of Anderson. Kalahau to Lyons, she just sends it over. Free ball Vikings. It's Hill, it's Robinson to Anderson. Big block in the net by Stoltz. Robinson tries again, cross court to Anderson. Connect Kalahau to Lyons, off the hands of Robinson. Now connect cross court to Robinson. Another big block at the net from the combo of Robinson and Albert. So Robinson and Albert in game 2, especially late in game 2, around the 25-22 mark, just set up a wall on the right side, but the Seawolves not able to get the balls through.
Western Washington really, as Stormo said, set up a great wall in those last several points there, blocking everything the Seawolves came at them with.
So the Seawolves head into the locker room with a 2-game deficit in front. But despite this, the Seawolves playing very, very good volleyball right now.
Having trouble finding that consistent game going on. The Vikings able to defend well, though, at the net. The double team. Setting up a wall. Doing really well.
Seawolves looking to recover. What we will do here is take a break from Bellingham and then return for game 3. So we will take a break. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 6 minutes.
All right, on your marks. Get set.
KRUA 88.1 FM Anchorage, giving you that shit you need.
Apologize for the delays. We actually just lost our dial tone as soon as we took that break, so we apologize for the tardiness in getting back. Seawolves trail 10-7 in game number 3. Seawolves actually, with a good effort, they were down 10-3 and actually have clawed their way back within 3 points. It's Jones now. Kalahau off the hands of Anderson. It's Castro now sent over, dug up by Lyons, but then she can't get it up off the ground high enough.
Shanley Bissett checks into the game for Western, and she's back to serve.
Now it's Bissett into serve for The Vikings, she sends it over. She gets dug up by Heather Lyons. It's connect now. Cross court to Lyons. Off the hands of Roma. Saved by Robinson. Schneider. Put over by Hill. It's Negron. How she takes it herself. Dug up by Schneider. But Robinson can't run it down. Point Seawolves. 11-8 now. They trail. Morehouse checks in for Megan Koizumi. Kalahau with the serve. Dug up by Robinson. Roma puts it over. It's Kalahau. She sends it long. Run down by Schneider. Robinson now to Hill. Dug up by Kalahau. It's Morehouse to Lyons. And Morehouse, that's 4 tonight on her handling the ball. 12-8. It's the Vikings on top by 4.
A lot of quick action here in this last game.
Kalahau to Lyons. She just taps it over. Robinson gets her hands on it, but gets called for the lift. 12-9. Cooper checks in for Crystal Negron of UAA. And it's Heather Lyons now back to serve. Lyons sends it over. Anderson sets it up for Albert. Gets blocked to her back by the Seawolves. Then Robinson sets it up for Albert again, and Albert's able to finish. So 13-9 now. Vikings up by 4. Seawolves set defensively. Back to serve is Robinson for the Vikings. Connect, digs it up, sends that one long, and then it's Anderson able to take advantage of that and catch the Seawolves empty on the right side. 14-9 now. Robinson serves, dug up by Lyons, sent long, and it's Albert able to send that back on the Seawolves side. Thanking Heather Lyons for easily setting that one up for her off of her long dig.
Seawolves take a timeout now. Western Washington leads 15-9 against the UAA Seawolves.
Like mentioned earlier, Seawolves started the game kind of slow. Took them a little longer to get the feel for it back in Game 3. And during that time, the Vikings able to put up some quick points on the board and get a lead up to as many as 7 points. Game 3 so far, 8 kills for the Seawolves, 2 errors, 18 total attempts, so they're hitting .333 right now at the break. On the Viking side, 11 kills on 20 attempts, no errors for the Vikings, so they're pretty sound right now. Offensively, they're hitting .550. Lions leading the way for the Seawolves in total kills so far with 9. Seawolves and Vikings both back on the floor now. And Robinson with the ball, looking to serve. Cooper digs it up. It's Kalahau. Goes to Cooper, left side, off the hands of Robinson and out of play. Nicely done from the Seawolves between Kalahau and Cooper to get a point on the board. 15-10. It's Connect now back to serve. Dug up by Schneider. It's it's Robinson to Alvarad.
Sending that to the left side there. Seawolves not able to react fast enough.
Now it's Anderson back to serve for the Vikings. They're on top 16-10. It's Connect with the dig. Kalahau to Morehouse. Morehouse puts that one down. Shaking off the error that she had earlier on in Game 3. Gets the big point for her team. 16-11 now. Seawolves. Koizumi checks in for Morehouse. Then the official near us was not sure if the officials
or the delay on there
stat row people saw that.
Rollover.
Koizumi with the serve, dug up by Schneider. It's Robinson now to Albert. Dug up by Koizumi. It's Kalahau now to Jones, off the hands of Albert and Bassett. So, point Seawolves. They're now down 16-12. After that timeout, that's 3 straight points for the Seawolves.
Seawolves able to catch a breather recompose themselves.
It's Robinson cross court to Bassett. Off the block of Cooper and Jones, and then out of play, but Seawolves in to the net, so it's 17-12. Back to serve now. Albert for the Vikings, dug up by Connect. It's Kyla Howe now, takes it herself, but Anderson able to keep it in play. It's Kyla Howe now. Koizumi. Kyla Howe sends it over, dug up by Roma. Robinson gets a hands on it, sends it high. Then it's Anderson who puts it over. Lyons. Kyla Howe takes it herself. Robinson's waiting for it, digs it up. It's Roma to Hill. Hill puts it down off the hands of Megan Koizumi. So 18-12. Seawolves are down.
Change of action, sending it to the backcourt.
It's Albert now with the serve. She sends that one long and out of play. So Seawolves with the ball back in hand. Negron checks in for Cooper, and Negron will serve. She's dug up by Albert. Bassett sends it over. Koizumi comes in to dive for it, but then Jones not able to run it down. 19-13 now. The Vikings on top. It's Hill back to serve for Western. Dug up by Negron. Kyla Howe to Jones. Right side, Jones hits the ball out of play. Vikings with the point.
Trying to get to the net there. Not quite able to elevate over it.
Hill back to serve. Dug up by Negron. It's Kyla Howe. Cross court. Big pass to Lyons. Big block of the net by Roma and Robinson. Then Kyla Howe's set goes in to the official in the perch. 21-13 now. Three straight from the Vikings. Kyla Howe to Lyons. She finds some space and ends this run that the Vikings have just put on. 21-14 now. Lyons gets credited with that kill. It's Jones now back to serve for UAA. Dug up by Anderson. It's Robinson cross court to Bassett. Dug up by Jones. Run down by Negron. It's Koizumi who sends it over. Free ball Vikings. Anderson. Robinson. And Roma with the big finish. Point. Vikings. They're on top 22-14 now. It's Bassett back to serve for Western Washington. Ball's in play. Lyons with the dig. Kyla Howe back to Lyons. She just has to send it over. Almost gets a point. Anderson puts it over. Then Lyons sends it right back over. Roma then taps it over. But 4 hits on the Vikings. So 22-15. Seawolves looking to get something going offensively.
Nearly 3 of the Viking girls were on the floor there, trying to find the ball.
Kyla Howe back to serve. Sends it over. Dug up by Bassett. Run down by Schneider. Then Hill just sends it. Oh, no, she does not send it over. Sends it short and into the net. 22-16.
Vikings were in the backcourt there, trying to send it back over the net.
Kyla Howe, she's dug up by Schneider. It's sent over by Hill after Robinson set her up, but a violation on the Vikings. 22-17 now. Seawolves inching closer to tying the Vikings up. Kyla Howe sends it over. Anderson digs it up. It's Robinson back to Anderson, dug up by Negron. Nicely done from the Seawolves. Kyla Howe runs it down. It's Lyons now, dug up by Schneider. Robinson. Roma off the hands of Stolk at the net. Roma finds some space, 23-17, and Seawolf head coach Michelle Earl off the bench looking for a lift on Robinson, but referee not seeing it. It's Watanabe back to serve for the Vikings. Connect, digs it up. Kyla Howe to Lyons. Lyons just taps it over, sends it wide and out of play. 24-17 now. That Viking lead. It's Watanabe again. Sends this one long. Seawolves get the ball back on their side. Cooper checks in the game, replacing Crystal Negron, and Heather Lyons back to serve.
Very quick play on both sides.
Lyons with the serve, dug up by Bassett. It's Robinson now to Anderson. Anderson with a huge smash down the right side. Excuse me, that was Albert. Point Vikings. Seawolves not able to get a hand on that ball. It's Robinson now back to serve. Her team on top, 25-18. Dug up by Cooper. Kyla Howe to Stolk. Stolk gets a big hand on it and puts it down. 25-19 now. Seawolves down 6 points.
Vikings not quite able to set up that wall there.
Jones checks in for Stolk. Connect back to serve. Robinson with the hand on it. Gets it over to Hill. Dug up by Connect to the Seawolves. Kyla Howe now to Cooper. She just taps it over. Robinson gets a hand on it. Hill. Back to Robinson from the back row. Blocked to the net by Jones. Then sent over by Jones. Bassett to Anderson. Anderson sends it over. Free ball. Seawolves connect. Kyla Howe to Morehouse. Morehouse and Kyla Howe not on the same page.
Jones looking good there, though, in that rally.
26-19. Seawolves had an opportunity right there to possibly get some points. Not able to capitalize it. Kyla Howe gets it to Jones. She sends it over, dug up by Hill, and then Albert able to take advantage of it. Sends it in the left corner backside where no Seawolf is in sight. 27-19 now. And it's the Vikings within 3 of taking this match. Anderson way short on her serve. Meg Koizumi checking in for the Seawolves, replacing Morehouse. Seawolves down 20-27. Dug up by Anderson. It's Robinson to Bassett. Bassett goes up high and puts it right between Rachel Connect and Heather Lyons. Another point for the Vikings, 28-20. They're within 2. Roma checks in for the Vikings, and it's Albert back to serve. Dug up by Connect to Halahau. Gets it to Cooper. Cooper puts it down. Anderson gets her hands on it. It's Anderson. Sends it over. Dug up by Lyons. Halahau to Cooper. Big block at the net by Hill and Roma. 29-20. Match point for the Vikings.
Crowd is on their feet like they have been whenever the Vikings have been within a point.
Albert aces the Seawolves. What a way for the Vikings to take it over the Seawolves. They win game 3, 30-20. They took game number 2, 30-24, and game number 1 went in their favor as well, 30-20.
The Vikings sealed the deal with that ace.
From
it just
Albert.
Looked like the Vikings were a more dominant team, able to defend against the Seawolves well. Seawolves, both teams making a couple sloppy errors from both parts.
Just got to remember, the Vikings coming into this evening's match were 6th in the NCAA Pacific region, so with the national ranking, and then in 3rd place in the Great Northwest Athletic Conference.
Game 3 looking like rapid fire, though, as the points just racked up for the Vikings.
So in the hitting percentage category, the defensive hitting category, and the assist category, the Vikings were 3rd. The